Unsolved India. The cases that shocked the nation. 2 cases, 2 mysteries, decades apart, both unsolved, both buried by the very people who are supposed to find the truth. Tonight, we go where governments fear to look. India has many secrets, but some secrets refuse to stay buried. August 18th, 1945, 3 days after Japan surrenders to the Allied forces. One of India's greatest revolutionary leaders boards a military plane in Taiwan. His destination, the Soviet Union. His mission, to find new allies and continue the fight for India's freedom. He never arrives, and what happened next has never in 80 years been fully explained. The plane was a Mitsubishi Ki-21 Japanese military bomber. It was critically overloaded with equipment and senior Japanese officers. Seconds after takeoff, something went terribly wrong. A propeller blade suddenly snaps off the engine. The engine completely tears away from the wing. The plane loses all control instantly. The aircraft cartwheels violently toward the ground below. Nothing could stop what was about to happen. The plane hits the ground in a massive ball of fire. Burning wreckage scattered across the entire runway. Miraculously, Bose staggers out of the burning wreckage. He is barely alive, covered in flames. His clothes are completely soaked in burning gasoline. Flames are consuming his entire upper body. He is immediately rushed to Nanman Military Hospital. Japanese soldiers carry him through the smoke and chaos. For 6 long and agonizing hours, a desperate battle begins. His life hangs by the thinnest possible thread. 3 Japanese doctors work through the entire night. They do everything in their power to keep him alive. Then, at 9 p.m. on the night of August 18th, 1945, everything inside that hospital room goes completely silent. He is officially pronounced dead. 3rd-degree burns covering his entire upper body. That is the story the world was told. That is the official version of events. But the more you dig into the evidence, the more the official story begins to fall apart. British officer Colonel John Figgis was immediately dispatched. He was sent directly to investigate the crash site. His complete report, submitted in July 1946, was immediately stamped confidential by authorities. That report was locked away from the public, hidden for over 50 long years. Why would a simple crash report need to be classified? That single question alone changes absolutely everything. In 1956, India formed the Shah Nawaz Committee, their job to officially investigate Netaji's death. The committee concluded Bose had died in the crash. The case seemed like it was finally going to be closed. But there was one deeply shocking problem. Bose's own elder brother was sitting on that very committee, and he absolutely refused to sign the final report. He filed a strong dissenting note against the conclusion. He said it clearly and without any hesitation. The evidence was simply not enough to prove his brother dead. In 1974, the Khosla Commission investigated once again. They agreed with the original crash theory. It seemed like India was finally ready to move on, ready to close this painful chapter of history forever. But then, in 2006, everything changed completely. The Justice Mukherjee Commission began a fresh investigation. What they discovered shocked the entire nation. It changed the narrative of this mystery forever. They declared it officially and without hesitation. The plane crash story was completely fabricated. There was absolutely no record of any crash. Not at Taihoku Airport on August 18th, 1945. Not in any official Japanese aviation logs. Not in any airport records anywhere. Nothing at all. No crash record was ever found anywhere. No wreckage. No official documentation of any kind. No body was ever returned to India. No death certificate was ever officially produced. No DNA test has ever been performed. Not on the ashes kept at Tokyo's Renkoji Temple. Those ashes, claimed to be Netaji's remains, have never once been scientifically verified. And even in 2024, after 80 long years, India still officially says he died in that crash. 3 government commissions investigated this case. 80 years passed. 0 conclusive answers remain. For many years, quiet whispers spread across Uttar Pradesh. Something strange was being talked about in hushed voices. People spoke about a deeply mysterious monk, a man known to the world only as Gumnami Baba. He lived in complete isolation in Faizabad near Ayodhya, inside a small locked room that nobody was allowed to enter. He never once stepped outside his door. He covered his face whenever anyone came near him. He spoke to almost no one at all. And nobody knew where this mysterious man had come from. When Gumnami Baba passed away in September 1985, investigators finally entered his mysterious locked room. What they discovered inside left them completely speechless. Nobody was prepared for what was inside that small dark room. Personal letters addressed directly to Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose found scattered all across the floor of that room. Detailed military maps, old photographs of INA soldiers, documents and papers from the Second World War era, books filled with handwritten notes found everywhere. Notes that handwriting experts said matched Bose's own writing. These were not the belongings of a simple wandering monk. These items were telling a very different and disturbing story. Thousands of Netaji's devoted supporters firmly believed this mysterious monk was Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose himself, living in disguise, hidden from the British, silently watching the free India he fought for grow up. The 2019 Justice Sahai Commission officially investigated. They concluded Gumnami Baba was a follower, not Netaji. But the belongings found inside that room were never fully explained by any authority or commission. The questions remain completely unanswered to this day. The mystery of Gumnami Baba continues to live on, 60 years after Netaji vanished from this world. In a quiet suburb of Noida, children began to disappear, one by one, silently, without leaving any trace behind. And for over an entire year, nobody in power did anything. House number D5, Sector 31, Noida. From the outside, a completely ordinary residential house. Inside lived Moninder Singh Pandey, a wealthy and well-connected local businessman, also living inside that house. His domestic servant, a quiet man named Surinder Kohli. Between 2005 and 2006, at least 19 people vanished, mostly young girls and small children from the nearby slum. Their terrified families went to the police station repeatedly, filing desperate complaint after desperate complaint. And the police ignored every single one of them, every complaint, every missing child, every grieving family. Then in December 2006, workers cleaning a drain made a discovery that would horrify the entire nation. Human bones, skulls, body parts, all stuffed inside that narrow drain behind the house. Remains of at least 19 victims were recovered, some showing clear and undeniable signs of cannibalism. India woke up to a nightmare that day, a nightmare the entire nation was completely unprepared to face. Surinder Kohli confessed fully to his crimes, admitting to killing, assaulting, and consuming some of his victims. Moninder Singh Pandey, the wealthy house owner, was also arrested and charged for his role in these crimes. Kohli was sentenced to death multiple times over, convicted across multiple separate cases for multiple murders. But Pandher, the wealthy and well-connected house owner, was eventually acquitted by the higher courts of India. How did police ignore dozens of missing persons complaints, all from the exact same neighborhood, over an entire year? Were there more victims whose remains were never found? Was the true number of victims far higher than reported? Did someone with real power deliberately protect that house, while innocent children from a poor slum disappeared forever? The families of the Nithari victims had nothing. No money, no connections, no political power whatsoever. Because of that, their missing children were invisible. Invisible to a system designed only to protect the powerful. Two mysteries, one from 1945, one from 2006, bound together by one devastating and deeply uncomfortable truth. In this country, justice is simply not equal. Secrets are carefully protected. Power rarely faces any consequences. Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose gave everything he had. He dedicated his entire life fighting for a free and just India. The children of Nithari were brutally let down. Failed by the very free India Netaji sacrificed everything to create. The Nithari case files remain partially sealed even today. Netaji's ashes have still never been DNA tested. Somewhere between the official story and the real truth, these mysteries are still waiting patiently for real answers. Who is brave enough to keep asking the questions? Who is finally honest enough to answer them? This is Unsolved India, and we are only just getting started.